I'm working to make sure that, when I have to come in here for training camp, that I'm ready and ready full throttle. So everything's on the right course.
You have a day where you think you could play?
I have a day.
Like training camp before then, where you get back and forth and play football?
Everything's on schedule to be on schedule. That's how I'm going to answer that one. No, but everything's right where it needs to be. So far, so good.
Thank you, everybody. Just a quick picture of Rasheed in
Yes.
jersey.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
There's the shirt, number 30, for Rasheed Wallace, and one of the few numbers that is not hanging from the banners of the Boston Garden. It certainly is an impressive group down there at the Celtics training facility in Waltham. KG to Paul Pierce to Ray Allen to Rasheed Wallace, and it just really underscores how powerful the Celtics could be this year. Rasheed was joined by his wife, Fatima, also his children. You see them there, Israel, Azair, and Rashia was the little girl, his daughter, that was sitting on his lap during the press conference. Now, throughout the press conference, Rasheed spoke as well as the big three. Danny kicked off the press conference by saying, Rasheed is a great defensive communicator on the floor. He said it'll take about 2 practices for him to learn the system. And then Rasheed also led us into that meeting that took place on July 1st out in suburban Detroit at his house.
Welcome to Boston. What was the overriding factor in bringing you here to Boston? What made you decide on Boston as opposed to other cities?
I would have to say the way that the guys play basketball here. It's the team unit, opposing to Paul going out saying, okay, I can go out and score 30 if I want to. Everyone on the team knows he can, but he sacrifices those things to win a championship, to win ball games. And that's what I'm about. And that's pretty much what made it an easy pick to come here.
There was a report right around draft time that said Boston wasn't high on your list. Was that true? And if it was true, what changed your mind?
No, it wasn't true. Actually, I heard a lot of things. I heard I signed a 2-year deal with Cleveland, and I heard I was on my way to San Antonio, this and that. But that's what made it funny about all the rumor stuff. But actually, it was a good thing that KG reached out. Ray came to the meeting, Paul came to the meeting, and of course, to me, that was definitely one of the sweeter things, one of the sweet sides of that whole deal, being able to play with these guys. It's hell going against them every night, so now I think it'll be a little bit easier playing with them.
Going into that meeting in your home, what were your concerns about Boston, about playing for the Celtics? What were your questions? What were the biggest questions you had with those guys?
Well, the first question I actually asked them was, how cold does it get?
It gets really cold.
I know, because y'all right here on the water, closer than we were in Detroit. But
Detroit's no Sun Belt,
No, no, it's not at all. But I guess what decided the factor was, one was them coming to the meeting, but they didn't have to. It's summertime. They're on break just like I am. They could have been on vacation with their family and wives, but they chose to come to the meeting, and everything turned out positive.
You ever been in a situation not just where guys come to your house like that and recruit you, but come from all points of the country to be with you at a press conference?
No. I would probably say the last time that's happened when I was in high school, being recruited by colleges. But these guys were on their job, though. I think someone should hire them for assistant coaches on college or high school or something, because they was on their job.
One thing Paul Pierce had said to me a few minutes ago was that he told you Doc was not going to run you into the ground. How much did that play into it at your age, at this stage of your career? The Doc is that kind of coach where he always says, I choose brains over legs, especially as the season goes along.
Oh, definitely. That's the key thing when you're dealing with a veteran ball club, because you don't want to have them out there all night for 35, 40 minutes a night, because in the long run, it's just going to wear them down. When you need them, legs are going to be tired, or that player or person won't be there. So I'm glad Paul said that. I'm glad Doc believes in that, to give his veterans a rest, because that means the shorter time span that I'm in there, you just work harder.
What do you see as your role? Have they talked to you about starting or coming off the bench, and do you prefer either or?
Well, personally, my personal opinion, I don't care. I don't matter. It doesn't matter. Come off the bench, if I start 2 minutes, 20 minutes, 5 minutes, I'm just going to do whatever I can to try to contribute to get a W.
Have they talked to you potentially about starting? Or?
No, that's one thought Doc said he had. Danny said he had it. But, we'll see how it plays out come training camp. When it's all in the mix with the other guys.
Tell me about your relationship with Kevin. How did that begin, and how has it grown over the years?
I guess it began as him being a competitor. We were in the same draft. He went to Minnesota, I went to Washington, but I ended up on the West Coast, and, I always got excited playing against him. I felt as though he was a good player. Didn't hear about him too much in high school, but saw him at a couple of little, the rookie transition programs and all that, and watching him play, like he mentioned earlier, I felt as though it was a mirror image myself, and like I said, I'm a better shooter, but he's a better rebounder, and I think it'll all work out for us.
I know so much is made about you and Kevin playing together. I'm kind of fascinated about the dynamic of you and Kendrick Perkins playing together. Talk about him as a player, now as a teammate, as opposed to an opponent.
Well, going against Perk, I like doing that. He's physical, he goes hard. He's not going to back down. You can shoot him a couple elbows. Okay, so what? He's going to either throw some elbows back or keep coming. And the intensity and consistency that he has, he knows he's not the number one offensive option out there on the floor, but he doesn't whine and cry about it. He just goes out there, okay, get the loose rebounds, put him up for a bucket, or run out of bounds trying to get the ball. It's that hustle in him that I like.
The technicals, Fatima has talked to you. What has she told you?
Well, so far, nothing yet. But I know as we get closer to training camp,
She hasn't said to you anything
she'll
in the
come up
past?
with words of wisdom.